In the quiet coastal town of Brighton, England, lived a woman named Elara Thompson. At 38, she had every reason to feel defeated. Her graphic design business had shrunk to a trickle after the pandemic. Her marriage to James had ended in a civil but painful divorce 2 years earlier. And her teenage daughter Sophie now spent most weekends at her father's new place in Manchester. Elara's days blurred into grey routines. Wake, scroll through bad news, work on half-hearted logos, eat alone, sleep fitfully. She wasn't dramatic about it. She simply carried a quiet conviction that the world was mostly unkind, that good things were rare accidents, and that hoping too much only set you up for sharper disappointment. Realism, she called it. Friends gently teased her about her default doom mode, but Elara shrugged. I'm just being honest. Everything shifted on a rainy Thursday in late autumn. Elara was walking home from the corner shop, hood up against the drizzle, when she spotted an elderly man sitting on a low wall near the pier. His name was Dr. Elias Moreau, a retired French neurologist who'd moved to Brighton for the sea air after his wife passed. He was soaked umbrella broken, staring at the churning waves with a small, thoughtful smile. She almost walked past, but something about his calm expression despite the rain made her pause. "Excuse me?" she said. "Are you all right?" He looked up, eyes bright. "Perfectly. Just letting the storm remind me I'm alive." Elara hesitated, then sat beside him under the shelter of a closed ice cream kiosk. They talked. Or rather, he talked, and she listened. Elias explained that for 40 years he'd studied the brain, not just its wiring, but its habits. "The mind is like soil," he said. "What you plant grows. Negativity is quick weed. It spreads fast and chokes everything else. Positivity is slower nids tending, but its roots go deep. They find water even in drought." Elara gave a dry laugh. "Easy to say when you're not the one drowning." "Ah, but I have drowned," Elias replied softly. "My wife, Claire, fought cancer for 3 years. Every day I chose to believe she could heal, even when statistics screamed otherwise. She didn't. But those 3 years we laughed more, loved more fiercely, said everything that mattered. If I'd let despair win early, we would have lost that time twice." He pulled a small, worn notebook from his coat. "I started writing one thing each day that proved the world wasn't entirely against me. A stranger's smile. A song on the radio at the right moment. The way light hits the sea even on stormy days. Over time, my brain rewired itself. Not magic. Neuroplasticity. You train it like a muscle." Elara took the notebook when he offered it. Inside were decades of tiny entries. Claire's laugh at my terrible joke. Patient who walked again after doctors said impossible. Sunrise after the longest night. She handed it back. "I don't know if I can do that." "You already do it the other way," Elias said gently. "Every time you expect the worst, you're planting more weeds. Why not experiment with flowers?" That night, Elara couldn't sleep. She opened her phone S-Notes app and typed one line. "The rain smelled like clean laundry today. It felt sealy." But the next morning, she noticed the way Sophie texted "Miss you, Mom XX" unprompted. She wrote that down too. Weeks passed. Elara started small. She thanked the barista who remembered her oat milk latte. She complimented a colleague's new haircut instead of staying silent. When a big client ghosted her, she told herself, "This hurts, but something better is clearing space." It didn't erase the sting, but it stopped the spiral. One evening, Sophie came home unexpectedly. "Dad's away. Thought I'd surprise you." They cooked pasta together, burnt the sauce, laughed until tears came. Later, curled on the sofa watching an old film, Sophie said, "You seem lighter lately? Like you're actually here." Elara swallowed. "I'm trying to be." Months later, Elara's business hadn't miraculously exploded, but new clients arrived, steadily referrals from people who said, "You just seem so calm and creative." She and James even managed friendly co-parenting calls without old bitterness flaring. And every evening, no matter how ordinary the day, Elara wrote 3 things in a little leather journal she bought on the pier. 1. The way that gulls wheeled like they owned the sky. 2. Sophie's laugh echoing in the kitchen. 3. Proof that choosing hope doesn't mean ignoring pain. It means refusing to let pain have the last word. Dr. Elias passed away peacefully the following spring. At his small memorial by the sea, Elara read one of his old entries aloud. "Today, a stranger sat with me in the rain." She listened. That was enough light for the whole week. Elara looked out at the horizon where the sun was setting in quiet glory. She felt the familiar tug of old doubts, but she'd let them pass like clouds, because she'd learned the hardest, simplest truth. A positive mind isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about deciding stubbornly daily that goodness can still grow, even in cracked soil. And once you start tending that garden inside your head, the whole world begins to bloom in ways you've never noticed before.